Hello and good morning. This is our Facebook Live event. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all of the good things. Hopefully, you had time, you spent some with your family, and you're just getting ready to go for this year. Also, I wanted, for when this celebration comes around, for us, we celebrate Christmas. And, when it comes around, we're always thinking, what am I going to do new this year? We're like taking inventory of what we did in 2023 or whatever that previous year. We're looking at what we did right, what we didn't do so right, and how we can change and be better for the new year. And so, with all that being said, you know, we think about basically auditing our lives, auditing what we did 2023, auditing what we were setting out to accomplish, seeing where we were, how far we've come, and just to basically look at that plumb line to see how we measured up. When it comes to, you know, balancing our lives, it's the same thing when it comes to auditing when it comes to your life insurance, auditing when it comes to what exactly it is when we're looking at our estate plan. Just like every new year, you're looking, okay, these are my New Year's resolution. I'm going to lose weight, or I'm going to start going to the gym, or you name it. Just like that, you are setting your estate planning goals for the year to come. And within that, just in the same time when you're measuring where you are in your relationships, how can I get closer to my spouse? How can I get closer to my parents? How can I renew a relationship with a child or get closer? In the same way, I want you to also consider your estate plan the same thing. Are my wills together? Is my trust together? Is it properly funded? For many of us, you're like, yeah, I'm set. I have the life insurance that I got 10 years ago for my children. You know, my children are my beneficiaries, or my spouse is my beneficiary. You name it. You have that all set up. You're feeling confident and you're ready to go. However, for the ones of us like me who set together your life insurance or your annuity 12 years ago, 15 years ago, when your first child was born, or you got married, you name it. You set that together and you're sitting, you're happy, you're like, man, I have a good estate plan. My question to you is, when was the last time you revisited it? When was the last time you actually looked at it to make sure it does exactly what you think it does? For many of us, we got it. We set it and forget it. You remember that kitchen appliance that came out? You just put it, you set it, and you forget it. Your estate plan is not one of those things. And so when you're looking at audits, when you're auditing your life at the end of 2023, when you're looking at those New Year's resolution for 2024, your estate plan, your life insurance, all of those things, you have to look at it with the same lens. So what does that look like? If you're like, okay, Megan, I leave auditing to my CPA, I leave auditing to my tax person. I have no idea if I'm in a situation wherein I even need to be auditing. I don't even know what that would look like in my life. Well, my friend, you're in the right place. In this video, we're going to talk about auditing your estate plan, auditing your life insurance, auditing your annuity. We're going to determine by the end of this video what that should look like. Are you in a situation wherein you need to go talk to your CPA now? You need to go talk to your financial advisor now. You need to go talk to your estate planning attorney right now. Is that where you are? Well, all right, come on, let's keep going forward and let's see if you have a good checkup or if you're gotta go take other tests because your test is inconclusive. All right, so let's start. What exactly is an audit? What exactly is an audit when I'm looking at my estate plan? What exactly does that look like for me? First, you ask yourself, do you even have an estate plan? If you have children, if they're minors, you have to be thinking about, okay, if something should happen to me, then I want so and so to take care of my child. If something should happen to so and so, then my backup person is this person. Okay, what if my children are adults, or if they become, or if, you know, if they're adults? What should that look like? Okay, then your estate plan needs to grow up, right? Maybe your executors were people that you were considering before your children were adults. Now your children are adults. Do you believe that your child or your children are financially savvy enough in order to take over that administrative duty that you'd given Aunt Jane because they were children? If that's the case, then you really need to do a different estate plan. You need to, maybe you need an entire new will. Maybe you need to add a codicil on that will to change your executors. Maybe now your children are growing up, they've distanced themselves from you, you don't like where they're heading in life, or maybe they're in a situation wherein you have to protect the assets, you want to leave them differently. That's what the estate planning audit is. You're going to look at your will, you're going to look at your executors, you're going to look at your beneficiaries to just make sure that what you created 10, 15, even some people 20 plus years ago actually works for you now. For some people, they did their POAs 15 years ago, their powers of attorney. The person that they selected to be their power of attorney has passed on, or maybe they got a divorce and they still had their spouse as their power of attorney. You don't want stuff like that to be in place because basically you don't have one. So you're going to take the pulse of what those things are. Maybe now that your child is an adult, you want your child to be your power of attorney. So go ahead and you want to update those things. However, so the things that you should look at. One, what are my life changes? What are the big life changes? Did I get married? Did I get divorced? Is my spouse deceased? Do I now have grandchildren? Do I now have children? I created my estate plan back when I was single. Now I have 2 kids, 3 kids, and I'm married. Or maybe I have a child and I'm single. How will the estate be protected for that child? Or how will my life be protected if I become incapacitated so that my assets can easily pass on to my children? And what I want you to know that this is a question and answer situation. Any legal questions you have, please ask them. If you look right down in the comments section, you can just go ahead, type your questions in, because unlike, I would love it to be back and forth, but that's not what we have today. We have questions. So you can post your questions down in the comments section, and then I'll gladly answer those for you as we move on. So when it comes to life changes, what happened for you in 2023? Did you get married? Did you get a divorce? Did your spouse die? Did a parent die? Is a parent now incapacitated? Were you diagnosed with an illness? Are you looking 4 or 5 years down the road and your health landscape will be totally different because you got a diagnosis in 2023? That's what the estate planning audit look like. And then for 2024, what you want to look into doing is editing that estate plan, editing that will, updating that will, and so forth. Today, though, I want to really emphasize the auditing of your life insurance policies and of your annuities. So I'm an estate planning attorney. I've been doing estate planning since my grandfather would say the devil was a boy. But, within the last couple of years, when people come in and I have them, I said, what are your assets? And they'll be like, okay, I have this $250,000 life insurance. I have this $50,000 term, or I have this whole life policy, or whatever. And I ask them, who are the beneficiaries? Oh, my children are my beneficiaries, or my spouse is my beneficiary. And I say to them, your children are minors though. and I look at it and they are asking me to create a trust. So I would say to them, okay, go ahead. We need to update those beneficiaries. And now we need to make the trust the beneficiary of those life insurance policies. Those will do one of two things. First, if your children are minors and you pass away, having them listed as beneficiaries of that life insurance policy, the life insurance company is not going to pay out to your children. So how are the children going to be raised with the funds that you have purchased the life insurance to do just that? It's not going to happen. So you want to go ahead, make the life insurance policy, make the trust the beneficiary of the life insurance policy. Then you can have contingencies. If my children are adults, then the payout goes immediately to them. You can say, okay, my life insurance policy will be first used to pay my debts, and then the proceeds sent out to your children and so forth. Because I guarantee you, if you leave the life insurance straight out to your children, and then there are liens on your property, you have tax liens, you have creditors, you have different things, they're not going to use the life insurance policy to pay those bills. And therefore, assets that you originally wanted to be divided in a certain way, you may want your house to be a family house. That's not going to happen now, because your creditors are going to come after the assets, because yes, you bought that life insurance policy, but you didn't leave it to your trust, and you didn't tell the trustee to pay your bills before distributing the assets. Okay, one of the things that I'm seeing more and more though are people who have term life insurance or whole life insurance, you name it, but the policy does not do what they want it to do. They have a policy that expires before their life expectancy. I just saw that the other day. The policy, they're paying on the policy, and they're 67 years old, but that policy expires at age 70. I don't think that's the right insurance policy for you. Many people don't even know that. They just think that I have purchased this policy, and as long as I pay, it's going to be there for my children or for my loved ones. That's not true. And therefore, you want to really audit your life insurance. I know you can't do that. Maybe you can. Maybe you're sophisticated enough so that you can. You may be paying $50, $100, $400, depending on the life insurance, for a policy. You purchased the policy 10, 15 years ago, and you keep paying when there are better products right now that can give you a higher policy limit for the same amount or less. That's what life insurance audits do. You look at what you're paying. Can I get more for that amount, or can I get the same amount for less? And therefore, that's exactly what a life insurance audit is. For many companies, they don't do audits. For some companies, though, if you're shopping around, you can go to that agent. You can say, I have this life insurance. Does it work for me? This is how I'm hoping it works. I want it to be paid to this trust, take care of Johnny, and then the proceeds get paid out to Johnny. Or I want it paid out in yearly sum to Johnny in this way. Is that what it does? But unless somebody looks at it for you and you think that you have it in your drawer and you're good, you may have an expiring life insurance policy in the drawer, and they do not do that. One of the other things that I want you to become present to is the fact that some life insurance are just accidental life insurance. You only get the policy limit if you die from a certain disease, or if you're in that certain automobile accident. Is that actually what you want? For many of us, as we're aging up in life, we're not going to die typically from a accident. So if you have only an accident policy, and unless you feel a heart attack coming and then you're going to pull yourself into the car and crash into the tree, and then you have to hope that that coroner, I know this is brutal, but that's what the life insurance audit is. Does it actually work for your life? Does it actually do what you think it does? I have many people just having burial policies. You're paying $20, $30 a month for a burial policy. Why? I'm not saying not to have burial coverage. Of course, we want our we want to make sure that we're buried with dignity. However, for the same $40, you can buy a life insurance policy of $150,000, $250,000, and then you make the trust the beneficiary of that life insurance policy. You tell the trustee, pay for my funeral, pay for my debts, then distribute the rest to my heirs. What you're doing then is true legacy building. For the same $40 a month, you got buried, you paid your debts, and you still had enough, 25, 50, 100,000 to pass on to your heirs to give them a leg up in life. That's true legacy. Yes, it's great to be buried, but if you can get buried and hand something off to the next generation, isn't that better? I think it is. And that's what life insurance policies do. You look at what you have. This is what the audits do. You look at what you have, and then you shop out there in the market to see if you can get something better. One of the great things, they may come to you and say, oh, you have a wonderful policy. It does this, it does extra things. But I'm seeing more and more that there are so many products now out there in the market that the same $40, the same $50 you're paying can get you a $250,000 term life policy that expires, yes, when you're 85 or something like that, compared to the person that I was talking about, where their policy expires at 70 and they're 67 and they're paying $40 a month. That's not going to work. Or you could be paying $50 a month for a burial policy, and you could have gotten a term life policy that's $50,000 that can still bury you and still leave a legacy for your family. That's what, when you're thinking about 2024, I want to make you feel empowered. You're going into 2024 and you're not making passive decisions about your future. You're actively engaged in your future. You're getting those audits. You're getting the next thing I'm going to talk about, annuity audits. What is an annuity audit? Okay, just like the life insurance policy, for many of us, we purchased an annuity and we took our money, we went to John Smith and we say, John, I want to purchase this annuity policy. I want it to pay me $700 a month until I die. Then when I die, I want so-and-so to be the beneficiary. However, because interest rates have changed, if you remember back in 2005, 2000, back in 2015, 2016, and so forth, interest rates were crappy, right? And so, is your annuity still stuck in those getting returns that were abysmal? Have you even looked into the return on your annuities? Come on, you could be getting so much more. 2024 is wide open for you. Are you were settling for 700 based on what the investments were behind that annuity? You're stuck in the 2015, 2014 mindset, when right now you could be reaping so much more. Instead of the $700 per month, you could be looking at $900 per month. What does that mean? That may mean that that $200 increase may mean that you can get a nicer place. You can go on more trips. You can take better vacations. That's what that quality of life. So when it comes to 2024, when it comes to that annuity audit, I want you to look at the same things. What's my interest rate? What am I really getting? Shopping out there in the market, could I get more for the same thing that I'm paying? And many times you can get more for the exact amount that you paid. In fact, you can roll it over. You don't have any tax implications from that. You're not losing any benefits from that. Many times you can even save. So how do you get this audit? You're probably sitting, yes, thank you, Cody. How do you get this audit done? What does that mean for you? Well, for one thing, we have, as you know, the law office of Bryan Fagan. We are a member of the American Academy of Estate Planning Attorneys, and we have partnered with Integrity. You may be like, who is Integrity, Megan? Well, Integrity is this multi-million dollar firm that they co-insure for people, they insure for people. They're behind many big insurers that you may have, whether it's Liberty Mutual, whether it's Prudential, you name it. They're also with a lot of the insurers that you're buying your insurance through. They actually broker through Integrity, and we partnered with Integrity. And I'm telling you this because in 2024, one of the things that we're going to start off for our clients is life insurance audits and annuity audits. We're not going to do it now. We're going to roll it out in 2024. That's one of the things that's coming. So please, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. If you're not one of our Facebook friends, Bryan Fagan /EP, please become one of our Facebook friends, because those annuity audits, those life insurance audits, we're going to give it to our clients for free. And we're going to be able to do that because we're partnering with Integrity. And so we're going to be able to give it to you for free. You look at it, we look at it, we're like, this is great. You're on the road to success. You actually have what you have, or we can be like, this is not great. This is how you can improve your life. And that's going to be a free service that the Law Office of Bryan Fagan, we're going to offer our clients in 2024. That's going to be something that we're going to launch through our administrative trust branch that we're going to start off. Probably by the second quarter of 2024, that will be up and running. So please subscribe. Come back on every fourth Wednesday when we have these Facebook Live events. But by all means, I'm not telling you to wait. 2024 is next week. Go ahead. If you want to meet with your CPA, meet with your financial advisor, meet with your agent, so that they can look at the annuity that you have. They can look at the life insurance that you have. You may want to meet with your estate planning attorney because you haven't done anything. Because yes, you have that life insurance sitting out there in the drawer. You got it 10, 15 years ago and you didn't do anything with it. This is a great time to come in, bring those policies in, bring that estate plan in if you have one. If you don't, come in, get that done, because 2024, let's start it out right. Let's launch into 2024 right. So we talked about the life insurance audits. And I can tell you, in the markets right now, you probably can get, for the same $40 a month, instead of getting that burial policy, you probably can get a $100,000 policy, a $50,000 policy that can bury you and leave a legacy for your loved ones. And how you can do that, go ahead. Thank you for that comment. I see you there. Go ahead. If you have any questions, if you look below, you'll see that comment section. Just put your comments in there, put your questions in there, and I can roll those out for you. Thank you, Cindy. Cindy sent in this question. I won't say your last name, Cindy, if that's okay. Cindy sent in this question. I have a trust that has a life insurance policy that my dad left the trust as the beneficiary for. How do I look at that? Well, if your dad is, I'm thinking that your dad is alive, but if he's alive and he has that policy, then that's something that you can just look at. If you can't look at it, and it sounds like your father already has a trust in place, and that trust is the beneficiary. At your dad's age, I don't know what the policy is, but it's possible that even he at his age can get a better life insurance policy. I can tell you that as a child of your father, you may be able to also purchase life insurance on your father's life to take care of his burial, to do all that great stuff. But yes, your father probably needs to look at that life insurance, make sure that what he's paying is he's maximizing what he's paying, because we work hard for our money. It doesn't make sense. You're like, oh, I'm feeling kind of greedy, or those greedy kids. You're already paying for the life insurance. Maximize the benefits you get. Why leave anything on the table, right? And I'm not knocking burial policies. I don't want you to hear that. They're great. You buy it and you make sure you're taken care of. However, you can still buy a regular term policy, get buried in dignity, and leave the battle. If you're afraid that somebody's gonna kill you off, I know a lot of people in my culture are afraid of life insurance because we are afraid that somebody may take us out, and maybe not just my culture, as a part of the just a part of living. And you just hear how sometimes people can treat people unfairly. You may be afraid to do that. I'm not. You don't have to tell everybody your business. You can buy the policy. You can leave it, the trust as the beneficiary. Leave the trustee as the trustee you trust. It doesn't have to be a child. And leave the trustee instructions on how to bury you, take care of your affairs. But I want to roll back a little. Let me just check my messages here. Okay, I have an annuity question. Okay. This person is asking, I have an annuity, I would like somebody to look at it. Can we get a free consultation with the annuity with the law office of Bryan Fagan? As I stated, we're going to roll this out later this year, where our clients actually get this done, this audit done for free. We currently don't have that up and running, but 2024, that is one of my New Year's resolution, because planning the estates for my client, I'm seeing them, one of them paid $408 per month for their life insurance, but they're purchasing a whole life insurance, and yes, they're elderly. $408 when you are elderly for a whole life policy may not be the best way to go for the same 400, because, and the reason is, if at a certain age a whole life policy, the benefits tend to outweigh the costs outweigh the benefits. For the same $408, you could buy a multi-million-dollar term policy, especially if you're 70 years old. Yes, it's going to be expensive, but when you're looking at the benefits versus the cost, that's one thing that audits will do. It will, maybe that's the best you can do. You purchased that policy when you were younger, and now yes, you're gonna maximize the principal, and then you won't have to pay much further. But if you won't really know unless you do that audit, and your financial advisor can do that audit. Whoever your agent can do that audit, see what's out there in the market. But starting 2024, by the second quarter 2024, we're going to provide that free to our clients. All right. Okay, so I have let's see, any more questions? Yes. Thank you for that, Jamie. Our Facebook Live event, free for you, every fourth Wednesday, 10:30. I'm here. You ask your questions. Yes, I do have topics that I have planned, but I haven't planned to fill in the silence. But this is really for you, so that you can ask me any related legal question. This session is really for you. I bring information here because I find it important, and so I want to tell you about it. But this is a session for you, so that you can ask your questions. We've also provided many resources. We have our YouTube channel. If you go on there, Bryan Fagan /EP Estate Planning, and you will see our YouTube channel. I have scores of videos there. We even have kind of like, I call it our university, or trust university. You can go on there, you can get your teaching material, you can get your material so that you can teach yourself and find out what kind of trust, what kind of will, in fact, we even talk about guardianships. Are you in a situation wherein you are going to need to a guardianship and so forth, or maybe you're the caregiver? All those resources are on our YouTube channel. You can friend us on Facebook. In fact, you can go to www.bryanfagan.com and /EP. You can just click subscribe so that you get The newest videos you get as soon as we post something, you get it. You can follow us. And we are so excited about 2024. We're looking forward to our trust administration that we're going to launch, and we're going to, as I said, roll out the auditing for our clients because this is so important. And just like me, let's mark into 2024 victoriously. Thank you.